we are back for another exciting episode of the Rough Tackle. Today, I'm Mandela Yao and Uvabe, and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Mutala Yakubu. But today, I'm here with some of the brilliant brains when it comes to the local league. Of course, my senior colleague, Victor, and then Augustine. Boys, how are we?
Charlie, cool.
Everything nice, eh?
Charlie, I get you plus you.
I also.
You say I did here plus my senior colleagues, so maybe I not be senior.
Oh, I say senior colleagues.
I say senior colleagues.
Oh,
Then
Debbie,
Augustine. So maybe I not be senior.
You be senior.
So you now,
No.
Oh, you don't be senior.
I know, boy. I dey cool. Everything they cool. Everything they cool.
That video make it delete the video though. Okay, guys. So welcome. So briefly, we start with a recap of the action over last weekend. That is match week 24, and then we delve into match week 25 this weekend. So on Friday, we started match week 24 on Friday with 11 Wonders hosting Nations FC in Sweden, right? Were you surprised by the result?
No, I don't think I was surprised by the result. Great game by our standard. And going to that particular game, we know the side that normally flops all the time, that's 11 Wonders. They've gone 6 games and they are yet to record even a point. And facing Nation FC, of course, we know Nation FC are a very great side, other Brankesi, but when they travel away, I mean, they don't really grind the result.
That was actually their first win on the road after 12 attempts.
Absolutely. And you see, teams that would want to retain their Ghana Premier League status, you need to win matches. And Nations FC, I think they are showing the way. Not the best of season for them, but you need to do the basic things. What are the basic things? Win the 3-point when it's necessary, when you face teams like 11 Wonders. Of course, if you cannot beat 11 Wonders, that is like whipping boys this season. Is it Kotoko, Gold Stars that you want to beat when you are playing them at home? So I think that Nations FC did the basic thing and they recorded 3 points.
Augustine, let's focus a bit more on 11 Wonders. Is that the end of the road for them? Because they started the season in Techiman, they came to Accra, and now they are all the way to, Sweden. What is the issue with them?
So after 24 games, so that's like 72 points. They've accumulated just 9%. And if you have to strike that as a percentage and maybe grade them according to our educational system, that's more than an F. so that's just means that they are failing. They failed already, right? And that just means relegation for them. It will take a miracle for them to turn things around. I think even if they win all their games, it's very difficult for them to still stay. I think it all boils down to planning, right? There's a popular saying that goes like, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So they've actually done very well at planning to fail, and it is showing, and the result is showing. So maybe they just need to go back, regroup, and then see how things will go and probably.
But Augustine, don't you think that you see Nation FC? It's a rebranded site.
Yeah, 11 Wonders.
It's a rebranded site. Of course, we know where they left off last 2 seasons. They are just continuing in that state. So nothing is changed. Nothing has changed at that club. If you ask me, because we've seen Jay Sapo and the likes went into the dugout there. The experiences they had.
So many allegations from his time.
Absolutely, not the best. And I think that it's just, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is for 11 Wonders, because a top tier Ghana Premier League side, you need to have a plan. And I don't think they have a plan.
Okay, Augustine, back to you, right? How much of an impact would their status be to the rest of the games? Because one thing the last been repeating on this show is the fact that if relegation is confirmed for them earlier with, let's say, 6-7 games to go, it will have a great impact, especially in the title race. Because then that means that teams that are yet to play them know that it's a sure point for them even before the game starts.
So I think even after match day 10, almost every team, when they get to the drawing board, when they get to the calculation board and trying to just calculate the number of points they could possibly get, they had 3 points from 11 Wonders, right? But I also think that if they seem not to be a team that's not in a competition, that's also where if like to the West, we could have games of convenience and in those things, which I think should really be looked at. And of course, they are going on relegation, but I also think they should do everything possible to at least fight for some points, right? Some of the things that have changed with this current club, it's not just about it's not just about what you see on the pitch.
Right.
Most of the things that have changed has to deal with off the pitch issues, right? If you get closer, I got closer. I met one of their players recently. When I met him, I just mentioned his name, and he started ranting. I just mentioned his name.
There are lots of issues
Yes,
in
and
the club.
I just mentioned his name. He started ranting. So there are lots of things happening. A team could just go on relegation with them not being up there when it comes to what we see on the pitch.
Yeah.
But then for them, behind the pitch is even messier than what we are seeing. So I think that's 11 on this.
Are they condemned?
Scrap.
I think that
yeah.
is too harsh.
That is too harsh.
That is too harsh. Scrap, challenge. Scrap.
Okay.
9 out of 72.
I think that is nothing to write
out of
home about
72.
here.
Yeah, no, but there's one thing Augustine said that I didn't like. I think that the notion we have that once teams relegation will be confirmed a bit earlier, it paves way for them to do some stuff with their games. I mean, look, even elsewhere in Europe, we see teams that clearly after some number of matches they are going relegation, but we don't have this mentality. Why should we know? But we don't have to put it out there in a public domain like this is a no. I mean, it is a league that we want to protect.
Okay, now let's focus on the game itself, right? Joseph, first strike first, and then Emmanuel scored that. That is good to make it 8 goals for him this season, right? I mean, with regards to the performance itself, how well did Nations play on that day, or is it because 11 wonders are 11 wonders?
So for a player like Emmanuel, let me first go there. He has scored 8 times this season, right? And then 4 of those goals have come against Levonnes. 4 of his goals this season have come against Levonnes, so that's 50%.
Interesting. I've not really thought about that.
Against one team. He scored a hat-trick when they came to Abranteson,
right.
and then one when they So I think Emmanuel just loves playing 11 wonders. And I also think it wasn't necessarily because Nations FC were a top team, but it was because it was 11 wonders. So just 11
so
wonders.
basically, you don't think Nations can pick any more wins on the road?
It depends on because Nations might not be able to pick any win from any other venue.
Right.
From any other venue, because apart from 11 wonders, one of the worst teams in the league currently is at home is out of folk.
Yeah.
Nations were never.
I think they are the second worst team.
Yes,
Actually.
Nations were never able to pick a point.
And that is very surprising.
Yes. So if it is 11 wonders, then it's just because 11 wonders. And mind 11 wonders, they are playing at the Sweden Sports Stadium because they don't have to pay anything.
Interesting. Okay.
Even when they are playing in Accra, they don't have fans.
Right.
Then imagine what happens in Sweden.
I remember their game against Sweden All Blacks, and then I think at the Legon Sports.
Yeah, at the Legon
Sports. And then the All Blacks.
They had more All Blacks fans than 11 wonders fans.
Okay. So that was it for Saturday, and then on Sunday special, of course, we had 8 games on Sunday special. With, of course, the title contenders were playing on the same day. Kotoko. I mean, after the Super Clash, the whole Karim G2 episode and all of that, people actually thought they were back. But then Vision FC held them to a goalless draw. I mean, for 10-man Vision FC held them to a goalless draw at Babayara. Was that disappointing?
Well, it's disappointing for the Porcupine fans. But again, the narratives around the Porcupine Warriors have always been clear. And one of the things the coach put out there during the post-match is that it looks as if the players have a certain burden anytime they are playing in front of the fans at Babayara. But it looks like away they try to get a result. But again, it just tells you the kind of players Kotoko and House of Folk themselves are having. They have players that psychologically are not up there to play for this great club, because big clubs, players, it is when you have the fans, the 12 voice behind you, that should be compelling you to get a result. But if you have the 12 man in the stand and rather it demoralizes you to get the result, then it's a bit shaky for me. I wasn't surprised that Vision FC were able to grind the result. Vision FC is a good team, the young squad, a lot of energy for them. But again, Kotoko failed to do the basic things. So many spaces in their game. They failed to close out spaces when it matters most. Their strikers, Abed Amwa, is back from Ali Benghazi. He's not finding his goal scoring boot. Even the ones we have, Kwame Opoku, you understand, they are struggling to just tap in simple balls that you should be turning in at the back of the net. They are struggling. And the coach rightly said it in the post-match conference. He said, look, when Kamara hit that ball, a player at the far post should have just nodded it home. But the player is waiting for the ball to get in, and that is Morifin Dozo he was referring to. So it tells you again, Kotoko's problem is the fact that their strikers are not just scoring. Because if you have a top club like Kotoko, whose best scorer this season have just turned in 4 goals, that should tell you their dilemma.
Okay, Augustine, Kotoko, do they have a discipline issue? I'm saying this because we heard the whole debacle with their former guy. What's his name again? The whole accusations and allegations about
Justice Blay.
about his teammates and all of that. And then Sunday after the game, their interim coach comes out to say that he took Ubejo off because he didn't follow instructions.
So with that, right, I don't really side with Coach Prince Yawos.
Yeah.
Okay. So he further went on to say Ubejo was supposed to score, like was supposed to be at the duty of scoring, but then he failed and blah 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 blah. It's a whole lot, right? We knew Hibejo has become Chelsea, right? And everyone who knew him then would even attest to the fact that Hibejo has improved with one of facets of his game, such that he has added goals to his game for Kotoko. And this season, he has been at the mercy of the club whenever they need them, especially at Barbara Sports Stadium.
But do you think that is getting into his head? Because the coach clearly said that.
Why is I'm guessing trying to sugarcoat stuff? The guy didn't play to the coach's instruction. Look, in Europe,
because the coach administration was very simple.
But that's what was the instruction? What was Prince also himself doing on the pitch?
So
like the coach.
No.
So if you come and I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go there.
Right.
But if you come and single out Hibejo,
I
say no.
No, I don't think he singled him out because he
not.
gave him a clear instruction. The guy didn't follow and he took him off.
And
that was the conversation.
And wait, what was the instruction? The instruction was
he should
that
stop ballooning the ball.
he stopped ballooning the ball, right? Whatever Prince also is doing.
Yeah.
He spoke about how Kotoko all of a sudden do play at home and they don't win games.
Yeah.
This is the same Kotoko team who had played about 23 games without losing at home before they even lost to Ediana, then had to focus, then join with Vision FC.
I think we shouldn't forget the fact that the job, he was literally pushing to the job because someone left.
Let me clarify myself. So I'm saying this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that look, there's nothing wrong with the coach when he says that I've given a clear instruction to this player, Hubert Jehu, this is what you must do in the game. You are not doing it, so I've retracted it. That is fine. As to whether the coach is not good, that's a different conversation. But in that particular game against Vision,
when you brought him out, right? When you brought him out, and then what impact did you get from whoever you brought him?
Those are different conversations.
No. If you are bringing him out because he's not doing what you want him to do, so you are bringing someone that you think will do what you want him to do. Yeah. What did the person do?
So we'll ask the coach that question when we meet him next time.
You know one thing, Kotoko coaches they always have excuses.
Yes.
Mama Zito was complaining about injuries and all of that.
He was complaining about his 13 players injured. He was comparing to Rodri. What's none of the 10 players? If you combine their impact, can't be equal to that of Rodri Manchester City's team.
Okay, maybe they can.
Coach said, look, I didn't win the game.
Yeah.
But and then he asked my good friend, I think Josiah, he asked him, you saw Vision FC players getting yellow card? And Josiah said yes. He said, it is because my players were doing something. That's a crazy statement. I have my own opinion.
Created chances, right? And it was not even as if Kotoko couldn't win the game because he didn't follow instructions. Come on, we saw them creating chances.
So to you don't like the fact that he singled him out. I mean, mention his name.
Probably you just talk about how
abysmal they were on the day.
His team was in front of goal than just saying, what was Morvin Donzo doing? What was he doing there?
Coach is under fire.
I think
for the coach on this, so he shouldn't put the blame on. He should just man up, take the things and work on it. He started from the super clutch. I was there. I asked him if he would prefer 3 points or style of play. He told me I know his position. He didn't get a 3 point. He didn't get a style of play, and still he's not getting any of them.
Okay.
What is he doing?
But I think we should also give credit to the goalkeepers on the day. Gordon Metefe and Mohamed Kamau was man of the match. Fantastic display from both of them. And then on Sunday as well, folk at the dance park. I mean, BBN came to Accra Sports Stadium. They played out the 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
And then as of folk after the Super Clash win, I mean, they are still the best away side in the league. But going to the dance park, I mean, I also believe they were confident. And then they went there and then they were beaten. Were you shocked?
No, I wasn't shocked. When you look at the head-to-head for Gold Stars and House of Folk, I think that they've always shared their sports in their previous matches. When you pick their last 4 matches, it normally ends in stalemate. But going into this particular fixture, you are thinking that Hasselhoff, yes, they may not have the strikers up front, but with the little they've shown us, you were hoping that they were able to do something. West gets a draw in that particular game, but there's a huge reference point. Huge reference point for Gold Stars because in the last 3 games, proud to Hasselhoff fixture, 9 points available. They've picked all the 9 points. That is to tell you that Gold Stars gradually are getting into their groove. And so any team who is playing them at the Dunks Park needs to be very careful. And I think that they discipline Hasselhoff. But did Hasselhoff play abysmally? No. They did the things they've been doing. We've seen Hasselhoff do this season. Great defensive shape. But I think that the first goal, absolutely bizarre of the defense. How do you watch Atakumi just plant in that ball? The defense could have done better. But take nothing away from Hasselhoff game. Very disciplined, tiki-taka football. We saw their goal, Henry Boateng, nice passage of play. Martin Kakari, great ball in there. But again, the second goal they considered as well. Look at the crossing from the guy. Swap in the ball. There's nobody. The defenders are just watching. I think that Benjamin, there's one thing people are not saying about that particular game. Maybe because Haas lost the game. Again, Haas would have considered more than 3-4 goals against Gold Stars. Right. But Benjamin Asari saved them. Because when you watch some of the saves, fantastic, and I think that he's doing very well. I was not surprised. Gold Stars, I think that they are the team to watch. Medeama is losing their eye off the pedal, and Gold Stars gradually, maybe from experience with what they did last season, they are telling us that Ghana Premier League is a league that when you are on top of the par, yeah. 10, 12, 13 matches, you shouldn't enjoy because till the very end, the bones. Yeah.
Augustine, I want to jump the gun a bit and maybe digress, right? Let's talk about Samartex. 11 goals. The only player with double figures in the league this season. If he is to say it's 15 goals, you are in Ghana jersey, will he be wearing one come June?
Wearing one to do. Wearing one sitting here also talking to you.
Oh, on the plane,
No, maybe you'll be a guest here.
On the plane.
Mandela. So okay. There's one thing.
Yeah, but not to cut you though. I mean, but if there will be some local based players in the team, right? It is just right that the top scorer makes it. Don't you think so?
No.
You don't think so?
Looking at the track record in the Ghana Premier League.
And moreover, considering the Black Star that we lack a clear target man, shouldn't he be there?
So if you are lacking clear target man, right, we look at bringing in someone who would do better than who are there.
So he have to do better than who are.
But do you think Atakumi can do better than Brandon Thomas Asante?
I don't know.
That's a big question. And it also boils down to the fact that Atakumi has not gotten the chance yet. Right.
So we can't say for sure.
And the position itself, it's something. The position itself is something. So there's Jordan Ayew, Antoine Semenyo, right? Like for the center, when you're calling Black Stars, there's Jordan Ayew, Antoine Semenyo. And then if Naki Williams now, they're bringing Brandon Thomas Asante. So Brandon Thomas Asante is even on the standby. So something must happen. Something must happen for Brandon Thomas Asante to also be sidelined. And then we look at the next one. We even have this guy, Prince Kwabena. Yes, he was also there. So
okay, that's why.
I thought Kumi might not be a bad player, right? But it's just unfortunate with where we are now and the couple of players we have in a similar position.
So you think we are spoiled for choice?
Yes.
I don't agree, but that's fine.
Oh,
now
really?
back to the game itself. How big of a win was that for BB Gold Stars? Just 1 point short of the top.
That was a very big win for them. And then prior to the game, I had someone there and I spoke to the person.
You have people everywhere.
Oh, of course, now.
He's a big man.
So I spoke to the person on phone regarding how the affair was in Ubeni and then what the people were saying. And then the person said the people seemed very confident of getting the 3 points there in the league for the very first time in their history. Mind you, they played 4 games. Hartford going there to beat them in the first one. The last 3 games have all been a draw. And all those games I've seen Hartford equalizing in the additional minutes. So I thought they were going to do something like that. Just see Henry Kokuba equalizing before the additional minutes and then them coming back again. I think Gold Stars did everything they could do very well to get that. And they realized that Hartford is a team that would build up from the back and then come. So they also like, okay, you do it, you also do it. If yours succeeds, you take it.
Alright.
If it works for me, I also take it. And it worked for them twice. Worked for her to focus once. So that was it. I think that BBN goes out did have everything possible to get a maximum points. Look at the games that have lost this season, and they are all away games.
Right.
Lost against Kaela, Tamale. I told you the last time,
Tamale,
if in Barcelona will lose at Tamale, and then to Medeama in Takwa, they're unbeaten there this season. So BBN was also a similar
ground.
ground that it was possible they could lose that
Okay,
game.
but to Medeama themselves, they dropped points for the 4th consecutive time.
I'm not surprised that because those last 4 games, I saw them as a big test for them. So I think they played nations at Brankets, which this season has been a no-go area for teams. They lost that game after their 17-game unbeaten streak. They didn't have to play Adriana at home, and that game it's a 50-50 game, a game where both teams could win, a very fair game. Unfortunately, they drew 1-1, and then they had to travel away. And then away again. So those 2 away games were just something. And mind, one thing that favored them was that I think they played 2 home games at a point too. The time they were winning 4 or 5 games continuously. Yeah. They played 2 or 3 games at home continuous. So they just came on the flip side, and it's happened to them. Possibly they have to get back home, do 1 or 2, win home, try and get a point away, come and win home again, and then pray that the other teams do drop some vital points.
Victor, quick one. Is a title race wide open now? Can any team snatch the win?
Oh, it's not just a title race. Everywhere is open. Even relegation zone, apart from maybe 11 wonders that will take out of the equation. Everywhere is open.
Right.
Look, if there's something we learn from the Ghana Premier League, it's a league that you cannot point to your chest and say that I've won the league until we have about 1 or 2 games to wrap up the season, and it's what we are seeing. Medeama, they enjoyed the party. They had their party, and it's off. But currently, Gold Stars that is having the party. At a point, we might get to see Kotoko or even Hearts of Folk if they start grinding result. That is the Ghana Premier League for you. You cannot say you win 4, 5, 6 games in a row, and likely we've seen. As for the title race, I think it's blown apart. Gold Stars, maybe they would need a bit of experience. And the interesting stuff about Gold Stars is that the remnants of their players that played last season, most of them are still there. Atakumi leading the goal scoring chart at the moment with 11 goals. Experience is still in there. Their goalkeeper is still there. So it's just proving that teams that win leagues, you need consistency in your squad. And these Gold Stars team have got that ingredient to win the league. As for Medeama, I don't talk much about them. Maybe I don't want to say because Mamadou Kamara Dini left for Ali, it's what is affecting them. But even with them, they've got so much experience in there. My good friend Suleimana, the skipper of the side, is back.
Salima Downs.
You understand? They've had a few players to their setup. Even the coach himself, Tanko, is very experienced coach. So I don't know what is wrong with that particular club. As for Hearts and Kotoko, the only stain in their cloth is the fact that Hearts has got striking problems. And look, it's been the song Didi have been singing right from the blast of the whistle, right after that Hindic transfer saga. They were banned. If not for that, maybe we would have seen a different House of Folk leading their power by now. As for Kotoko, quality individual players, but they are not clicking as a team. And that is the bane they have. Maybe coaching issues and off the field stuff, I can't tell.
All right. We'll preview match with 25 in the GF, but let me put you guys on the spot. Just mention the team for me. Who's winning the league? It's a team. I didn't know explanation. Augustine, you go first.
I'll answer after match. After match defeat, I'll come here and answer.
Okay. Look, Ghana Premier League is a league you can't predict because it will embarrass you.
Okay, these guys are not going to give me any prediction, but that's fine. So let's move on to our match with 25. On Friday, we start at Abrankesi, where Nations FC play Bechem United. And then there's Vision, Brekum Chelsea on Saturday, Samartex, Dreams FC. And then House of Folk, Basake. That will be our TV game on TV3 on your TV, and then streaming live on adisaplus.com. But let's start on Friday. Nations, Bechem United. We've spoken so much about Abrankesi, how it's been a fortress and all of that. So would they win that?
Yeah, they are likely to win that game if they do everything good, because Bechem United have been a very bad side on the road, and I think they should just count on that and then get a maximum points just to cushion themselves and put the team in a better place.
Okay, Victor, after that draw against Asante Kotoko, Vision are back in Tema against Brekum Chelsea.
Yeah, that should be a cracker. But if you've been to the new Kraku Sports Complex in Tema Newtown, you tell you that it's a very difficult ground for any team to go there and win matches, especially because of the fans, how passionate they are. And I expect Vision to use that advantage, at least to grind 1 or 2 points at home. And it's going to be difficult because Bekum Chelsea themselves are struggling in the Ghana Premier League. They are also going there with the mentality that they want to stay in the Ghana Premier League. And if you want to do that, you have to consolidate the point to get home and then make some points away. But let's see how Samaboy does that.
Okay, and then still on Saturday, Dreams FC are on the road to Samaboy.
Samaboy is a venue that most teams do suffer even to get a point. I think the best teams that we had in the league have gone there and managed to get a point. And Dreams FC, they are just not that team on the road. But when it comes to Tuba, they are just on fire. So I think Samartex could win that game easily.
Yes, and then on Sunday special, House of Folk, Basake. Basake, very solid at home. But is this the points where they break down at the Legon Sports Stadium?
Well, let's see. I wish House could win that game because I'm saying that because House of Folk, they are a crazy team. I mean, they are just like Atletico.
Very
they win today, tomorrow. But I think that it's a game Didi should be talking to the boys. It's a game they need to win because the fans cannot just have the sight of seeing their club lose games consecutively at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. As for Basake, I don't talk much about them. They are a team that, administrative-wise, it's a very shaky side. Bad experiences with them. But the lad in there, Trinebua Prince, quality lad, and I think that his stay in Enyinasi will not be too long. Very, very good chap.
Augustine, you earlier mentioned that even if Barcelona go to Tamale, they will not pick up a win.
Yeah.
Can Kotoko do it against Karela?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure. Not at all.
So they're losing that one too?
Yeah. Very likely. Because against Nuridin Amadou, Nuridin Amadou is also a coach who really knows how to play Kotoko very well. And I believe it's going to be very, very, very difficult for Kotoko to even get a point. So it's a win or draw for it.
And a quick one to that. When you pick the teams, the last 5 matches, when you pick teams that are doing well on home soil, apart from Gold Star that have earned 12 points, Karela is the second team.
Yeah.
They've gotten as many as 10 points playing at home. And Kotoko themselves, they are not consistent. So it's going to be a very difficult game for them.
And then at the TNA Park, I'm still with Victor. Medeama up against Oho United.
Well, Medeama, I pray.
Sorry, not to cut you. If they lose or drop points, is that the end for them?
Yeah, if they lose or drop points in that game, then
Gold Stars are likely to overtake.
Yes, yes, definitely there'll be a bit takeover because when you watch Gold Stars game they've got, it's not in the game. I think that they should be able to win their game. But Medeama, look, they need to start getting back on track. They need to start winning matches, and you need to pick confidence at home. And I'm expecting that they pick that confidence at home. But Hohe United themselves, all the way from Hohe to Takwa, they want to cause a bit of upset, but let's see how that game plays out.
Okay, Augustine, let's stay a bit more on that game. Let me pick your thoughts. I mean, if you are Ibrahim Tanko, what would be the advice to the boys? Because I remember when House of Lions were unbeaten about 5-6 games, and then they lost away. And then Bashir Rayford came out to say that the wins had got into the heads of the boys. If you are Ibrahim Tanko, 4 wins without a win for the boys. This is a team who are on track to win the league. And now it looks like it is a battle. What will be your message to the boys?
So should I speak like Ibrahim Tanko?
I mean, don't mimic his words, but
so you see,
just put yourself in this.
So the Medeama team, they've tested wins, and they've tested defeats.
Yeah.
They've had good times and now they're in their bad times. So the only thing they need to do is to overturn things, and the best way to do that is against Oho United, who is not too good away. And you are coming back in a position where when you do things right, you are likely to extend the league again because your contender is traveling to Wenchi.
Right.
Yes. So that's just what they tell them. That is the time to turn things around and then keep the fire burning.
All right. Speaking of Hearts of Lions, we are back to the Lions then. Finally, just quick one against the All Blacks.
That's a tough game. But before we do that, I wish Medeama will win because anytime they win, there's a party in Takwa so that my good friends can have some. My good friends can have some party. But back at the den, I think that it's tricky for Kpando Hearts of Folk. Not the best of result for Bashir Ford and side. You expect them to grind again some result at home. The fans who come to the stadium at the Kpando Sports Stadium, they will want to see their team win. But Swedru All Blacks themselves, they've got their own issues or hurdles they are facing. And both clubs, interestingly, if Kpando loses, the fans will not forgive the team. If Swedru also loses, Fire will be waiting for them back in Swedru. So let's see how that 2 game pan out.
Right. And if I don't end the show, my producer will not forgive me. So on that note, that is how we wrap up this episode of Rough Tackle. Mandela Yawanuva. We are starting for your regular host, Mutala Yakubu. That is my senior colleague here. And I did this with Vitor and then
Senior
Augustine.
colleague.
My other senior colleague, Augustine Kwanzaa. Thank you guys so much. Remember to like, watch, share, and follow our YouTube channel on YouTube and then all our social media channels. Follow, interact, comment, and let us know the next topic you like us to touch on. Thank you and gracias.